By the time September 1666 happened, which was the fire, there were very few deaths. It had gone down to... It had almost ended. No one quite knows why it ended, but it certainly wasn't the fire.
Did it make it easier for them to knock down a load of places that they had their eye on?
Essentially, that's the point. It gave the chance to Christopher Wren to get some church building done, especially St Paul's, of course.
So they had lots of grandiose plans about turning London into a grid or a spiral or that, and then they kind of thought about it for ages and then went, put it back as it was.
Yes.
You know, all squiggly lines and weird corners, please.
Yeah, which we love. It is one of the...
Well, yeah, but I think Christopher Wren was a bit depressed about it.
Yeah. Well, the best thing about the Great Fire of London was that it got Wren an opportunity to build St Paul's. Now, just how great were the great train robbers?
Well, they're not that great because they got caught.
Well, yeah. I mean, they got so caught. They got caught almost immediately.
Yeah.
And they got caught in very stupid ways. Do you know how they were caught? They went to this farm and played Monopoly using the stolen money as their Monopoly money. And then they cleared out and left their fingerprints over everything, over all the Monopoly set. And they were all, you know, they all had form. They were all, you know, known blaggers. So they were just rounded up, all 12 of the gang of 15. One was acquitted, 2 were never caught. They were pretty inept, is the answer, basically. Who's the most famous of the great train robbers, would you say?
Ronnie Biggs.
Ronnie, we've all said Ronnie Biggs, yeah. And what was his role? Was he the mastermind? Is that why he's the best known?
No.
No, he was such a small peg in the whole thing.
Was he the driver?
No, he wasn't even that. He was inside. He was doing a stretch for taking and driving away. And the mastermind of the entire event met him and said, I'm planning this blag.
I'm planning a game of Monopoly.
Yeah,
He's just got to pick something up on the way.
Yeah,
it's my set, I've lost all the fake money. And the only way of replacing it I can think of...
I've run Waddingtons, they didn't want to know. Get a new set, they said. Don't be ridiculous, I said.
Anyway, the mastermind was called Bruce Reynolds. And he said, if you can find me someone who can drive a train, a diesel train, I will cut you in on a big job that's going down.
You can find... I mean, it's not... That's like... I mean, that's not like someone who can sort of melt diamonds with their eyes. Or something. Someone who can drive a diesel. Apparently they exist somewhere.
But the amazing thing, David Mitchell, is that Biggs found this guy whose nickname was Old Pete or Stan Agate. No one knows who he was because he was the one who was never caught.
Oh, was that Old Pete the train driver? I know.
Yeah. So his job...
After Casey Jones had turned him down.
Yeah. For being found, Ronnie Biggs got a share worth 147,000, which in today's money is 1.6 million. And all he had to do, Ronnie Biggs, was get this guy, Old Pete, to the scene. But this Old Pete got to the train and said, oh, I don't know how to drive that. Ronnie Biggs still got his share, but Old Pete was useless. He couldn't drive the train. He'd been lying all the time.
I like the idea that Old Pete's like those actors who put on their CV, yes, I can horse ride. Oh, yes, I can drive a train. I speak Mandarin too. Straight through China, no problem at all.
That's how he found him. He went through Spotlight. And the other, apparently, he was very well reviewed in Much Ado About Nothing last year.
And he's trained in modern dance. That could come in handy. Well, the great train robbers weren't particularly great. Most of them were caught because they left fingerprints on the Monopoly set at the safe house. From criminal bungling to a great scientific mystery, why did it take 300 years to give the giant tortoise a scientific name?
A scientific name?
Yeah, i.e. the Latin name. It turned out to be called Geochelonia, you know.
Is it because they just thought that was pretty good, giant tortoise?
We'll leave it with that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah?
No, I was going to say something about which now it's unusable. I'm going to have to say it now.
Go on. How with it, man?
They thought...
It's better be good.
They thought it was a normal tortoise, but closer, is what I was going to say. You see what I mean? But I couldn't get that concept. It's like, would it be actually further away? And a normal one further away would be actually a minute one. Would they mistake a quite far away normal one for a miniaturised one that's a bit ordinary?
Yeah, but the thing that you're saying is that the tortoise...
No, it's just... Yes, it's a certain way. If they
said, I like it. Oh, go that way.
Yeah. If there was like a tortoise over there that was giant, but I for some reason thought it was just there, then I wouldn't think it was giant. I'd think it was just, oh, there's just one there. If it was just a normal tortoise there, nothing about that. Oh my God, it's over there and it's massive.
It would have to be on a huge beach with no other points of reference.
Well, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Are they?
That's not the reason.
Are they particularly litigious? Now, if you give me a name, I will sue you.
No, it wasn't that. It's a nice thought to get. No, they had another property which was most unfortunate for them to have.
What, the tortoises did?
Yeah.
They were edible.
They were so edible. Anyone
who saw one couldn't stop to think of a name for it. They just had to eat it straight away.
Really? One of those...
Yeah.
I don't know what they're called. Get one, they're really very good.
There's no Latin name for the pistachio nut. Exactly the same way. No one can be bothered. Just shut up with your Latin. Eat them. They're brilliant.
That's what happened.
No Latin name for Maltesers.
None of them made it. It's kind of true. None of them made it to London. None of them made it to Europe.
Now this time, we're going to take it and we'll take London and study it.
Leave it. No.
However,
I'm taking it back. People getting up in the
ferry coming into Dover, there's a bloke going... leaving the door where the tortoise is dead.
All right, look. Take 9 of them, we'll eat 8. Absolutely.
And then everyone's looking at it and going, come on.
And then the seas become... The days on end, the seas become, there's one tortoise left.
Yeah.
Come on, sir. Come on, we'll go back. Let's just go back and get some more.
Can you imagine the moment after they've eaten that last tortoise? They're sitting there thinking, we are...
Even on...
I'm too full.
Even Darwin, on Darwin's last There were dozens. There were dozens.
He collected every species in the world and he ate that one.
They had them all. They did.
Well, done all those. Done all the butterflies. Done all the beetles. I'm eating that.
The only descriptions of them are comparing them to chicken, beef, mutton and butter and saying they're how much better they are than all of those things. No one who'd ever eaten tortoise had ever eaten anything better.
Why they not farmed?
And the liver and the bone marrow, every part of it was unbelievably
Whereabouts
delicious.
are they from?
Well, from the tropics mostly.
Are there flights over there?
They are now protected. All 12 species.
If they're that delicious, they can't be. Well, just say, yeah, we've protected them. They're all in there. No need to look. Yeah, they're fine.
There's a border around them, like North Korea.
Yeah. There's a big pile of shells, like those piles of tyres you see in the scrapyard.
But there were some that survived, however, and let me tell you about a very extraordinary
That
one.
bloke there, he's just befriending that one. Yeah, come over here, my pretty. I'm trying to think of a name for you.
But they are amazing animals, apart from how delicious they are. Adwaita died in 2006, and he was Clive of India's pet. There he is.
Oh, they're 200 years old or something.
255. He was born before Mozart, before the French Revolution, and his death was announced on CNN. I mean, that's a heck of a life,
And you
isn't
can
it?
list his achievements on the back of a stamp.
Well, why would he need to
Well, his
achieve
principal
anything?
achievement is it wasn't...
He lived 255 years. People think probably the oldest living creature because they don't live so long out of captivity like most animals, and he was, well cared for. But that is a pretty astonishing
It is quite...
lifespan.
So it lived 255 years and is massive. I mean, I've achieved 50% of that. That's so great.
There are 12 species of them, all of them endangered. Well,
They
one...
all taste nice?
Well, I don't know, but it's very sad that they so many were other species were, basically wiped out just because they were so lovely. Not only that, they were also used as water stores. It sounds a weird thing, but they have a special kind of internal bladder that stores water so perfectly that it's drinkable. When you slit them open to cook them, you also get, like a gallon of fresh water.
Wow.
So they would stack them up on boats, tons of them. They'd be stacked up, one on the other, and they couldn't move. And they didn't need to be fed for months, so that they actually contributed a lot to whaling and other things because they were used as a foodstuff and a water supply that was just kind of permanent.
So you've got the
on board.
water as well, and imagine if you smash the shell open, there's like a little toy in there, like a Kinder Egg. like a little game. You've got to get the balls in the holes.
So how do they exist in the wild anyway, if they're so delicious and slow-moving and massive and useful?
They didn't have any natural predators until man discovered